raising awareness through every track. All-Star PD Sportscast on the rise, shouting loud, reaching the skies. Can't stop, won't stop, our game is strong, fighting Parkinson's all day long.
Welcome, everyone. As always, I'm really excited, especially today for all you football fans. I know my co-host Tim loves football. I'm not the best spokesperson on basketball NBA, but today's Super Bowl and also a new episode of All-Star PD Sportscast with your hosts. I'm Sharon's son George, together for Sharon.com, and my co-host here and my brother in awareness, Tim Lockard, and you can find him at my PD Party. This is a special show for us where we discuss the world of sports, slowing the progression of Parkinson's. And again, today we're gonna have some fun. We have our mascot. Tried to find a mascot. We got the World Parkinson's Congress mascot, Parky. He's been on. We have to get him on our show. Actually, he's been on mine. It's a quiet conversation because he doesn't speak, or he or she. And then also we're gonna introduce our new some of our props. And I was trying to get a big Tim head because I love it.
You got it.
This is what we got. So we'll be seeing these things flash. Also, I want to send love to one of the groups I love, Drive toward a Cure, and Deb, who's probably listening and will share this. But anyone out there who wants us to support their show, again, we don't want anything but a cure. But this one specifically is really how passionate Tim and I are about sports, about all of you in this beautiful community, but how we can really slow the progression, which I think still is something that needs to be talked daily since there's no cure. But I just wanted to welcome everyone and send the show to, again, my brother here, Tim, and always sending love and congratulations on the sports in your life. And maybe if you have a minute, touch on your son, which I think is just, we do have to have him on someday, but he's another inspiration, your whole family.
Thank you very much. Listen, what is shaking, guys? So listen, those cardboard cutouts, they're typically called dummy cardboard cutouts. Cardboard cutouts for dummies. So listen, you know that we love advocating when we're here on Super Bowl Sunday. That's dedication. Listen, I'm excited for this guest. I mean, I've always had a lot of questions about what she's going to bring to the table today. Because I definitely think there's some questions as far as benefits and things you have to be weary of, and from a safety standpoint. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, like George mentioned, I have 3 boys. My last son just got a full ride to go play soccer in college. I'm so proud of him. Great kid. I mean, all of them. I'm truly blessed. We'll have them on. Maybe we'll have the second go around on soccer, but I'm going to pan it back to you because I want to get moving on this conversation. I'm very excited for this today.
No, I appreciate it. And again, it's just an honor. Also, before we start, and I'm going to want to know how our beautiful guest Tracey is feeling. But on top of sports, fun, and everything, I just wanted to see how you're feeling too, Tim, and then we're going to get right into the show.
Well, listen, it's like anything else, but you have your good days, your bad days. That's one of the hardest things about this disease that I don't think people realize is it's minute to minute. It's not even day to day or week to week. I mean, I can go from having a smile and running laps to just not wanting to get up, and it's tough. And mentally, that's a tough thing. But that's why I think what we're going to talk about today is a very good topic that we haven't talked about yet that could help somebody like me. So I'm going to be honest with you. Even though I'm a co-host, I'm kind of a guest today too, because I'm dying to hear what she has to say.
I appreciate it. And again, we do this to get a few of you out there and Tim to smile a little, even if it's a tough day, rough day, we still keep going. We don't stop. Sports don't stop. We don't stop. And there's not a day, unfortunately, I don't, have still trouble too. 6 years later, shocking to say 6 when I lost my mother and best friend, but she really does, I feel, live on through Tim and all of you out there listening. So please share the show. And now let's get to the fun part. And I wish we had maybe Tim is the expert, we can add it, but the drum roll. We need a drum roll every guest. But welcome, Tracey, to the show. Tracey is someone who, again, means a lot in my heart. It's been friends, and I figure, in my opinion, at least I hope she agrees, family for several years now. And just honored to finally get to advocate and introduce Tim and also this amazing community. So maybe you could start everyone off by telling a little bit about your background.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, George. I appreciate it. Tim, it's great to meet you. You guys are so much fun. So my background in this is, and I'm just going to caveat, guys, I'm not sure that aquafit or water aerobics is necessarily a sport, but it is definitely an out of the box thinking way of doing exercise and slowing the progression. So I'm just going to say that up front. So my background in this is, interestingly enough, I've been in the pool my entire life. My mom put me in swimming classes when I was like a toddler, and I was the youngest person on my local swim team when I was in the second grade. So I've been in the pool swimming for years and years, and at one point I developed a really painful right shoulder while swimming, and I couldn't swim anymore. And oddly enough, I didn't realize at the time that that pain was actually one of my first Parkinson's symptoms. I thought it was attributed to being on the computer and literally swimming, you know, miles and miles my whole life. Um, but one day I was at the pool and swimming laps, and I was in such pain I couldn't go any further. And there was a water aerobics class going on, and I thought, well, I've come all this way. I'm not going to not
Yeah.
exercise. So I jumped a couple of lanes and joined the water aerobics class. And I was shocked and amazed at how hard they really were working in there. And I loved it. And long story short is that like 3 months later, the instructor invited me to become certified and teach. So I've been teaching water aerobics for 2026 is 20 years
Now,
now.
Tracy, can I ask you, aside from the symptom that you just mentioned, what are some of the other early symptoms you had as far as that led you to get diagnosed?
So for me, it was my journey is a teeny bit different than anybody else's that I've heard. I had like that symptom early, but then with water aerobics, it actually went away. And there was a couple others. So what happened to me really quickly is that I've been super active my entire life, very, very active, doing various things. And I got a foot injury. And that foot injury put me in a boot for 6 months. And about 6 weeks into being in the boot and not being able to have my normal routine, I started to be very symptomatic. What things like I now know as the slowness and stiffness and
Yeah.
rigidity and all those, big kinesic words. Um, I had mask face, my voice, everything just went. I'm sorry to say it. You can edit this out, George. It went to hell in a handbasket between 6 and 8 weeks.
Wow.
And I had no idea what was going on. But lucky for me that we spent some time. It was Thanksgiving. We were at my sister-in-law's house, and her son-in-law is a rock steady boxing coach. He looked at me and he said, "I'm not a doctor, but you look just like all my Parkinson's friends. Please, I beg you, go to a neurologist when you get home. Don't even go to your family doctor." He knew all the stories. He said, "Go to the neurologist, get it checked out." 3 months later, I was in the MDS office. I had Parkinson's. In a nutshell, that was it. Because I went from, um, the term zero to hero, but mine was more like something to zero.
And it's that fast.
It was that fast, right? And because I wasn't teaching 5 classes a week. I wasn't doing my own workouts. I wasn't, in the gym at lunchtime. I wasn't doing my weekend bike rides.
Is
That's my
this
story.
something? Is this another area? Because I do, well, first, what led you to advocacy, but also for this, I think it's a sport. Anything to me is a sport where I know you're not sweating. We were actually ran today, my wife and I. It was so cold, even in Florida, that I didn't sweat, which is very rare when you're running. But
old
and
New Jersey.
Oh, no, 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 no.
and then and also, how can other people? Is it something they can do at home? Is there groups they can join? And what can you tell us that information so everyone listening to can get involved?
With regards to I call
Aerobic.
water aerobics, aquafit, whatever term you want to use. So first, I do have to kind of correct you there, George, because you can sweat in the water. I
Oh,
guarantee
really?
you, if you come to one of my classes, you can sweat in the water. I'm just saying. I've had many people tell me that I didn't know I could sweat in the water, but um, so how did I get started with this and how so I kind of told my story a little bit about how I got started. I naturally love to teach and share things with people. So I did that. I had an opportunity here in Colorado with the Parkinson Association of the Rockies, who sponsors many. They've sponsored, I think, close to 100 classes or something, all free of charge, and they were wanting to get started with Aquafit as well. And so I was for about 6 months an instructor with them and help them kind of develop a program and get that off the ground. And there's a lot of things attributed to the water and the properties of the water that make it a very safe environment for somebody with balance and gait issues to be able to function There's a lot of things you can do in the water that translate very directly into those activities of daily living that you can do in the water, and you're actually getting a lot of benefit from it.
That's great.
Um,
Amazing. Yeah. Let me ask you, and I know we're not talking about swimming, we're talking about water aerobics, but water aerobics, and even if you want to touch a little bit upon swimming, because I know you said when you were younger you did, what do you see as some of the benefits to doing both things in the water and some things that, like, I know everybody's symptoms are different as far as balances. What should people be a little weary of to, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this? Like what does a typical class of yours that you teach look like?
So comparing the swimming to the water aerobics, if you're not a swimmer, right? You think about it, you're going horizontal in the water, and there's a lot to do with the breathing and your face in the water oftentimes, and that closeness and breathing and things. And that may not be comfortable for you.
I agree.
So that is something that I would be cautious about
Yeah,
if that's if because that's way out of some people's comfort zone,
sure.
as opposed to water aerobics where you're vertical. And if you can just go waist deep if you want, or you can go chest deep. You can do it with your feet on the ground, or you can put a flotation belt on and go in the deep end, where you're going to be submerged a little bit deeper. So that's a big difference right there, just between the two.
Yeah, what is a class of, like, give us some examples of somebody who wants to know what a water aerobics class looks like. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I go to my gym and I see the pool, and I just see like some people older than me with a bunch of floaties, and I'm like, what are they doing? But I get you'll have me sweating. So what is a class like yours?
Yeah. Yeah. So a class like mine, I've always targeted my classes for people who want to use the water to work out. And they come for various reasons. A lot of times it has to do with joint arthritis, those kind of things, where they don't want that pressure and the impact that you have on land. And so, and they range in age. I remember one time I had a man who, big burly guy. He was like the beer delivery guy. So, I don't know how much a keg weighs. Okay, but he'd been schlepping kegs for 20 years. So he
What
was
kind of do you
built,
teach?
yeah, he was built and buff, but his body was breaking down, right? So we worked with him on things for counteracting and, um, there's dynamics and properties in the water that you can, once you learn simple little things, you can turn a movement like this, like even a standing in the water and doing that kind of swim movement in the water, you can turn it from just la 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 to, okay, you are moving water. I am working my back and chest.
What are you
And you
putting in? Yeah.
and yeah, and it's simple. It's as simple as, how do I place my hands?
Yeah.
What is my hand placement? And what muscles am I using to move it? And once you learn that, right, that's where you're digging into really getting a workout in.
And it sounds like you've got a lot of success. I mean, do you hear a lot of success stories as far as the way people are feeling? And
Yeah, I've worked with triathletes before, long distance runners, especially people who are recovering from injuries. And and this is what their doctor says. Well, what can I do, doc? I can't run right now. Well, just get in the pool. And that's all they hear is just get in the pool.
yeah.
Um, right. So what does that mean? So I have picked those people out in the pool before. They've come to me. Um, yeah. And a lot of professional sports and professional athletes are turning to the pool as cross training because it's so much more forgiving on the
Yeah,
body.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
I know a lot of rehab companies actually have indoor, even for animals now,
hmm
veterinary. It's expensive, but I know for my 4 back surgeries, they say that. And I'm looking at a pool and I've never used it. So it's,
Yeah. Right. And,
I
and,
got
and
it for
I've
my
actually,
kids.
sure. I've actually done one-on-one consulting with people with Parkinson's who, same thing. Hey, I have access to a pool, but I really don't, I don't know what to do. I'm not comfortable in the group setting. What can, and I've done that before and helped people with that.
Tremendous.
One area I wanted to also do is share a few things, but you're one, in my opinion, the leading advocates out there and always doing advocacy 24/7. I want to thank you, of course, I always like for a minute and not look quickly, but all the way back in July 2023, we met and gave me an interview and talked a little bit about advocacy, but the things you're doing also with the organization who hope will join us sometime here, the Davis Finney Foundation, and a lot of the other work where everyone can find you at MCB Tracy. Tim and I will share that so no one has to write it right now. And also, of course, wrote a chapter on the topic today in sports, exercise, and slowing the progression of Parkinson's, which is available everywhere, everyone. If you order it now, all proceeds, if you write Tracy's name, will go 100% to her. And that's again something that we work together, and I hoped would help everyone out there battling Parkinson's information wise, but also give back to some of the authors who were involved in the book. So I want to know if you could touch a little bit. That's a lot quickly, but and all the advocacy you've done in the past, but also what you're kind of working on today. Because I know I'm a member of one of your groups too in WhatsApp, which is a new world of innovation and technology. I don't think a lot of people are on it though yet. They will be.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, thanks for giving me that opportunity. So, yes, I have started a group on WhatsApp. It's small, um, um, but WhatsApp is a different um, platform. And like you said, George, there's no Parkinson's out there on it, but I am starting to explore that, and I do that for the security and privacy that app gives you over some of the other apps. I'm also, like you said, an ambassador with Davis Finney Foundation, and I do all kinds of stuff with them. I work one-on-one with people. I am on, social media and other things there. I'm really excited because I get to go to DC in March. But actually, before that, at the end of this month, February 27th, I'm going to be at the Colorado State Capitol with the Parkinson Association of the Rockies, as we are going to be representing Parkinson's on the Chronic Illness Day at the Capitol and advocating there. I'll be going to WPC in May as well. So I've got some things on my docket. I'm super excited. I'm collaborating with some folks on some other projects. I'm collaborating with a woman in Scotland on and trying to help her with a website that she's building with regards to Parkinson's resources. Um, yeah, I kind of have my hand in a lot of things. I'm working with somebody, another Davis Finney Foundation person we're going to be doing a podcast style show about resources, because all you hear is people say, oh, yeah, well, go to the website. Oh, yeah, that's available. Just go to the website. Well, not
Mhm.
everybody is a just go to the website kind of person.
Correct. Well,
And
Tracy,
it's overwhelming,
let me,
especially early on.
you bring up a good point. And we've shifted to advocacy a little bit. So let me just ask you, for somebody like yourself, who obviously is all over the place doing so much for this, as George is as well, if you had to pick one thing as far as advocacy goes that we're missing, what are we missing? What does the community of Parkinson's warriors need is lacking?
Um, God, that's a great question because I just 10 minutes before this call got off the phone with a new person who reached out and said, I have all these grand ideas and I don't know where to start.
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, I think of it as like we plant a seed, we have to nurture the seed so that the seed can grow. And if you do all that right, look at what you get from a little teeny tiny seed that grows into the big acorn, right? So I think we need right now for me, although I've got my hands in a lot of stuff, but I really really love to focus on the individual person at the beginning of the journey, because I think if each seed can be nourished once it's been put in the ground, then it can thrive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not enough of that.
That's a great way to put it.
I think you're going to love DC, and I have the honor to say that I met Tim for the first time there, and actually we have a moment right here. This is it.
There you
That's the picture. So, and I
go.
can't wait even more that I'll be there back with my wife Tracy. So we're gonna finally, it's need
Finally
another
meet. Yeah.
drum roll, please, a second one. But we're gonna get to meet for the first time. I don't know how many years I'll be able to keep heading back. Unfortunately, it's a different show, but my state of Florida, I'm not too happy with, because out of the 5 reps, only one is really truly a hero to me. So I'll go one more try and try and convince them how important this mission is. But having you there will be really amazing. And World Parkinson, I don't know how I'll get down the lobby because I think there's going to be over 3,000 people I've interviewed and 500.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be,
No,
I
yeah,
can't
that's
wait.
true.
So I wanted to also follow up and then, as we wrap up shortly, again, this show never ends really. As long as there's anyone, including Tim, our guest today, Tracy, and all of you, have to battle Parkinson's in memory of all those like my mother we lost, or your families, and this show and the theme has to continue. And I hope today, again, we had a few of you smile even for a minute. I'll do anything I need to make sure that we can get that from you anyway, and share the show, please. But what message could you give someone, unfortunately, who just joined this beautiful and inspiring community? I know one example, like both of you, Tim and Tracy, that TikTok is an incredible area, sometimes negative, but always positive because there's so many individuals with Parkinson's. But one thing I'm kind of sad at is every day I go on, there's a new person diagnosed that it's like, I don't know the technology, but for some reason, I guess because I post a lot on Parkinson's, it shows like this is a new follower.
Mhm.
And it's just, I introduce myself, but every single day there's one person, and I guarantee there's many more. And that's kind of what crushes me, despite all the work we all three of us and everyone out there is doing. So,
Yeah.
let's say someone just happened to love sports, wants to hear how to slow the progression and finds Tim and this show, All Stars PD Sportscast. What information or advice could you give someone newly diagnosed?
Newly diagnosed, especially on for the sports thing, is just keep moving, right?
Yeah.
If you're already involved in something that moves your body, keep doing it. I'm saddened when people get a diagnosis and then they suddenly stop. It's like
Yeah.
if you did that yesterday, you can do it today. I recently partnered with a woman through Davis Finney. She found me on the foundation website and reached out to me as an advocate, and we've been talking. And she's a marathon runner.
Well,
And I was so excited for her to say that, she had been diagnosed for about 6 weeks when I first talked to her, and she had like 3 races all lined up. And I was, great. And you're doing them, right? She's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, good. Keep running, honey. Don't quit. Because she asked me, what can I do? And I'm like, don't stop running. Whatever it is you do, don't stop.
Mm,
And if you're not moving, find something.
get
Grab
moving.
a bunny. Yeah. Grab a buddy, whatever. Call me. you know, I'll go virtual with you. Just keep running.
Love it.
Well, I
So,
really I'm grateful for your time. And again, after the lights, camera, and paparazzi leave today, even though I feel like we should do a few of these because I feel like the whole show I could swimming, but maybe we could do some of the exercise to show everyone. But the conversation can't stop until it's a cure for everybody around the world. As we again wrap up, I like to send the show and then I'll close. But to Tim, we always have a beautiful, inspiring quote that I cherish and also keep with me, not just today, but even running through my life. So thanks. Here we go, Tim.
Yeah, I can't thank Tracy enough for taking her time out to be part of this, and obviously educate people on another way to keep moving. Uh, as far as the quote goes, I was initially going to try and do something funny because I mean, meaning in the water, because we're talking about being in the water. I'm sure Tracy one day is going to say something very inspiring to all of us in the water aerobics world. But until then, I was thinking, I don't know, do I go Jaws? Do I go? We're going to need a bigger boat, or Triple Lindy. But I'm going to go Michael Phelps. Now, how great is this? You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only thing you have. That could serve this community so well because, listen, I have said on a million podcasts, I didn't know how strong I was. That's the one thing. One of the things that I will thank Parkinson's for is for allowing my inner strength to show that I never knew I had. Because that sometimes with this disease, that's all you have. That's all you have to take that next step is your strength, and everybody has it within them. You just got to find it.
I agree. I agree 100%. That is amazing. And um, if you think that if you think the water might be a good place to go, or if your doctor ever tells you, get in. You don't have to be a swimmer. If all you do is jog or walk up and down the pool, you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
And I will put in one last real plug regarding water and Parkinson's. Stiffness and rigidity. The pool is amazing. It is so therapeutic for stiffness and rigidity, what it does for you. I'll just it anyway, I'll just put that little plug in there.
Listen, for somebody who suffers mostly from that, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what water movement will do, and it's sustainable. I get in the pool and I my stiffness and rigidity is reduced by, 10, 20, 30 fold for like 2 or 3 days at a time.
Like you said, it's less taxing on the body, which is important,
Mhm.
very important.
Yeah. Yeah, so and yeah, and I think that goes into the strength of, that quote that you just gave.
I agree.
We really appreciate your time, Tracy, today, and hope everyone will reach out to you. We'll share your information. A few other people we want to thank is, of course, Davis Finney Foundation for allowing Tracy to be such an incredible advocate. Drive Toward a Cure. We love you, Dib, and for this nice tracker here. I want to thank World Parkinson Congress. We mentioned them, and also Parky. I'm going to invite Parky on the show. Also, Rock City Boxing, who we're big fans of, and we need, I think they will probably appear also. So many more to thank. Just also the Parkinson's Association of the Rockies, and most importantly for me, my brother here, Tim. And you don't even need me anymore on the show. And I wanted to thank Tim for all his work, his inspiration. And it's, again, I'm selfish a little because I remember when I just met him. He was this guy. I just started a profile account. Now he's a mega star, rock star.
No,
Also, we have a lot of things, even in music. We don't have time, but we should have a show. We sent our love to the Three Doors Down singer, and I was
rattle.
sad last night because he actually filmed a video recently before he passed, and it was him talking, and it was just like how, very tough to now to see what cancer can do. We need a cure for everyone out there for so many ALS, cancer, dementia. Of course, we specify here Parkinson's because we're all still grappling through grief and also battling it today. But this is really, again, honor to be with you, Tim, as always.
Likewise. Love you, brother.
Thanks. And also thank you to everyone for listening. This has been another episode of All Star PD Sportscast, where we discuss the world of sports, slowing the progression of Parkinson's disease, and hopefully just get you all smiling just a little bit. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, George. Bye.